Okay, clutch goes on one way with this facing out the way. It does not go like that. It does have a writing on, and I'm not even going to attempt my German language, but yeah, it has on there. So, clutch alignment tool goes in, and centralises it, basically so that it's turning and it's not catching anywhere on the flywheel. The pressure plate, don't forget to clean with brake and clutch fluid to get rid of the oil, the transit oil that keeps it from rusting. If you put that on without doing this, and I'm sure it's been done many times before, it'll slip, it'll not get a good grip. It's got an oily surface on it, so I'm going to go and do that just now, and then I can get this lined up as well. I've put thread lock on the flywheel bolts. So each of these bolts are to be torqued to 25 Newton meters, and I'm going to do it evenly, so basically I'll miss one out every time until they're all tightened up. Okay, so don't forget to remove the alignment tool and the locking tool. And in terms of this side of the clutch, it's done. Okay, now that I'm under here and I've got all this space, I'm going to replace the clutch sleeve cylinder. Now I did try and get some of the ends freed off. I was hoping just to replace the cylinder, but this union here was not having it. So this is an 86 fan, so to my knowledge and research, it should not have this pipe on, and then a flexi, and then a pipe. I believe this is for earlier models, so at some point this has been changed. So basically, a lot of these unions weren't coming off. So what I've done, I've replaced it with the the newer flexi hose. Apologies, but it's quite hard to do this with one hand lying on my back. So a long hose, which I've pre-attached to a new sleeve cylinder. This hose replaces the hard line here and the flexi part here and attaches onto here. Now I managed to get this off and salvage this because I did not want to then have to replace the hard line that goes to the front of the van, so I'm pleased with that. I'm going to get this switched over. It really is a case of undoing that, which is loose and can be done by hand, screwing in the other one, and then I'll basically set it up somewhere here out of the way until the gearbox is back in, and then I'll just get it bled and screwed back in, and it really is a lot simpler while this is all out. So yeah, I'll go and do that. I'll give a quick zoom over with the camera once I've done it. So there we go, new sleeve cylinder in place. All new here, no leaks, all good. I'll get this blade off camera and I'll get it connected up once I do the reverse procedure. The clutch release bearing seems to move okay here, but if you listen to it, it sounds quite worn, and you can see the way around here. So in the kit you get a brand new one. The clips go over the arm, so they just kind of have to be forced down. They actually do come off quite easy when it comes off. Obviously when the clutch is here it doesn't come this far. So basically the clips here, this part here, just clips behind here, and when it's held in down here it can't go anywhere. So I'm going to check, there's two bushes, bronze bushes, one here and one in here. I'm hoping there's no play in them because I've not ordered them. This is apparently the one that gets most play in it. None in that one. Okay, so the clips are obviously a bit tighter than the new one. Let's have a listen. Perfect. What I would advise replacing while you're at this stage, there's a little, it's called an oil light bush in here. This is the starter motor on the other side. Starter motor I'll undo. There's a bush in here. It goes round here. Now I'm not going to replace this because I've just put a new starter motor on, and this is a new bush that was replaced about a month and a half ago, and it was not the best replacing it while it's on the car because you're having to come from the other side, you're reaching in blind, and as you can see it's in. I'm happy with it, so I'm not replacing it, but if it's not been replaced they cost pennies. Take the starter motor out, you'll be able to knock this out here. The best way I got it out while it was on the vehicle was I used a tap and die set, threaded in and pulled it out, and it came out fairly straightforward. Tapping it in was a bit more difficult because, as I say, I was doing it blind. So yeah, this is something I would replace while this job's off if I hadn't done it already. Next on my list, while it's out, it makes sense to replace the gearbox oil. The stuff I'm using is AA weight 90 Morris. So the top up plug is here, and round here and down, I apologise for the shaky camera, in here is the drain plug. I've given them a good clean up and I'm hoping they're not going to give me any issues, but yeah, I'll soon see. I'm going to do the top up one first, because if that one fails and then I get this one, I've no way of topping up. So yeah, so I'm going to try the top one first. So this is a 17mm. I'm hoping it's not held in with anything. I'm hoping the weight works with me, but let's see. That's actually coming off pretty good. So yeah, that's going to come off fine. Let's have a look at the drain plug. Yeah, and likewise that one's going to go fine as well. That's fine. Okay, what I'll do is I'll get this propped up on like a standard wood, how it would be in the van, and then I'll get a container and I'll strain this out. From what I've read, I think around about 3 litres, 3.5 litres will come out. The rest are all kind of trapped in sump areas, so it should be about 3 litres worth. So at least I know how big a container to go for. But the good thing with having it out is I can manoeuvre it about. You know, I could hang it off the edge of the desk here and have the bucket below. Okay, I'm happy that's all drained. I've screwed the sump back in by hand, and it just gets torqued to 20 Newton meters. Both plugs are 20 Newton meters. Just a case of topping up until it runs out. That's it topped up, so the level's sitting here. This just goes back on. And it's the same setting as the drain plug, 20 Newton meters. There we go. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go round the gearbox. I'm going to get some of the rustier brackets painted with some Pour 15. I'm not going to cover all this stuff. I want it to kind of stay like this. I have cleaned it up, but yeah. In terms of the clutch, pressure plate, the flywheel, that's all on, ready to go. The gearbox side of things is all ready to go. All I need to do before I forget is put a smear of grease on the splines and then put shaft, just so when it all lines up it's all lubricated. I'm told, or I've researched, that this part in here doesn't require any grease, so I won't put any on, and to be honest there's good movement in it, so yeah. There we go, that'll do, and all good to get this back in, which to be honest is the bit I'm not been looking forward to, because my jack had issues bringing it out with clearance and things like that, so I'm going to need to just take my time. I've not got any help to do it, which more hands would be more beneficial, but I just don't have it and I want it done, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to basically go through the reverse procedure of what I've just done, taking everything off. I'm not going to show that on camera, purely because the camera will get in the way and it's more time consuming, and it's the exact same in reverse. I will come back when it's all connected back up. It's finished, it's all back together. I've just been for a drive and it's driving really good, really pleased. The clutch is where it should be, the gear selection is a lot better, there's no notchiness, it drives like a modern car. Yeah, so I'm really pleased. So, very achievable yourself. Just be methodical, get a plan, take your time and have patience. Some of the annoying parts I will cover is, the bit I found most challenging was the drive shaft bolts. Yeah, putting them off, the hex ones, when they came off, 3 or 4 of them gave me a real problem. I had to hammer things in, I had to get tools, it just took a long time. I persisted and got it done. Even putting one of the new triple square lock, or whatever they're called, bolts on, if you don't get the tool lined up, it will start to round, so you need to make sure that you're getting a good grip, because if you're going in at any angle at all, it will round and it'll give you problems. So the best way I could advise for that is lift the wheel up and rotate the drive shaft so that you're getting a good angle from the top. If you're going on the bottom, the actual drive shaft's getting in the way, so yeah, learn from my mistakes. A few other annoyances are parts. I know some parts are obsolete, some are hard to get, but for this I had to order for 4 different suppliers to get all the parts that I've covered in these last few videos. I used Just Campers, I used Brickworks, I used Heritage Parts, and I used a supplier on eBay. So I done a little challenge. On the Sunday I ordered at the same time all the parts, just to see which supplier was best at getting back to me. Just Campers came within 2 days, Brickworks within 3 days, the eBay order came within 3 days, and Heritage Parts I thought were pretty poor. I had to chase them up to find a tracking number, and they took 5 days to come once I chased them up, so it puts me off in the future. I like good service and I like good quality parts, so yeah, just I don't know what everyone else's experience is, but yeah, when you're wanting parts quickly, you're just wanting them delivered so you can get on with the job. But yeah, I'm over the moon. I've saved myself a lot of money, £350 labour, and I've replaced all those things at the same time that wouldn't have been done with that job. So it gives me peace of mind, gives the van longevity, and it's given me a few other areas I need to fix next, as is the same with these vans. I'm quite confident now I can take them places, drive them and enjoy them. The tappets need done, the engine's still a bit noisy, but that'll not take long. And for everything else I'll chip away. It means I can get camping with the kids. It means I can enjoy the van while it's nice, I say nice with a pinch of salt weather. I've fought the rain at times, I've been under, I've been soaking, but yeah, it's been really beneficial. The last thing I would like to recommend if you're doing it is get a good jack that lifts the transmission up and down. You'll see from the footage I ordered an adapter for a trolley jack. However, it was good at bringing it down, but it wouldn't clear the van when pulling it out, which I had to kind of tilt and lift off, which was okay. Getting it back on wasn't. You had to basically get it under the van in the space, lift it on and then jack it up. So it wasn't the greatest. If I knew that before I started, I'd have invested a bit better and done a bit better research on that. If you can get somebody to help you with a few parts, lifting it on, it's 55 kilos, it's heavy and it can be dangerous. Get someone to help you with that. Get someone to help you with the clutch slave cylinder bolts. It just makes things so much easier. It is achievable, but take safety into mind if you're doing it on your own. I'll give myself a concussion purely because I just stood up and yeah, just banged my head. So I've got a minor concussion as a result. So that means every van now, or every car I've worked on, has given me some kind of injury. But yeah, jokes aside, safety, take safety importantly. You're working under these things, you get tired, you get frustrated, you sometimes forget your surroundings, but put safety above everything else, because if you injure yourself, you can't drive a van if you're injured. So I'm going to end that one there. Hopefully someone got something from this, and yeah, I've quite enjoyed doing it myself, I have to say. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers!